Andrew just did with those guys over there. Remind us what episode it was again, bro.
Yeah,
What
we went
number?
over
Do you remember the number?
390. What was it? No, 935. I think it was
930
9.
something. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, like
nice. Yeah, go
935.
check that out.
It
Go
was
check that
something
out,
like
guys.
that.
Good
But yeah,
episode. Yeah.
they were amazing episode, bro. Give us a little recap of that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, well, they had me send them a few topics. We kind of went into Mystery Babylon, a little bit of Bell Labs. That was the fun one. That's the new one that I've been kind of getting into, as well as just kind of what we talked about that was in that clip that they had on Doom Scrolling, as far as MK Ultra involved in ufology and all those different movements, as we talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're frozen on the screen right now. Can you see us still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Whatever. Our
well,
side is frozen, but
it did freeze for a second. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Well,
But anyways, we're
it's all
good.
good.
Well, yeah, that's all good, bro. Like I said, killer episode. Always good to have you back. I think this is the 4th episode we've had with you. Is it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, third or fourth. I think I got down third, but you might be right, actually.
Well, because
It may have already been fourth.
the last 2 times it was like 2 or 3 weeks in between the episodes. I think.
Definitely. I think you're right, actually.
So I think this is number 4.
Yes, sir. Oh, we lost them. Oh, they'll hop back in. They got the link. We're gonna be getting into satanic and occult rappers and everything else, and the tie-ins with that whenever they get back in here. Good morning, Cake in a Cup. How you doing? Good morning over in Australia, I assume. Isn't that weird? Yeah, Australia. Hell yeah. They'll hop back in. I think that they just had a little bit of technical issues, so it's probably got something to do with internet, so it'll be quick, more than likely. But I got a lot of stuff to pull up. If not, it's mostly just the occult and rap, but they should be in here in a minute. But for now, I can share. Here we go.
That was crazy.
All right, we're set.
That was crazy.
No, you're set.
We're getting
all
close.
Right,
We're
cool.
getting too close.
Hell yeah.
So
you're good now.
What we wanted to talk about today was Freemasons in the music industry, probably more specifically the hip hop industry, right?
Yeah, definitely. And occult, satanic, sacrifices, all that, voodoo, the whole deal. It's all in the music industry, especially in rap.
Psychedelics, all that.
Yeah. So
definitely.
I think, at least for me, the big one a few years back was Jay-Z. Everyone was saying like Jay-Z's like in like a secret society. He's like a Freemason, all this and that. And he actually ended up doing a song with Rick Ross, who did say he was a Freemason. I don't know if you ever checked that out. Do you know a lot about Jay-Z and his association with the whole
Rockefeller Records and the Rockefellers and all that stuff.
Keep one eye open like CBS.
The diamond, right? All that. It's all symbols of the same name.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh, we keep losing them. Oh well, I was gonna show them. This. I actually have Jay-Z pulled up right here. His lyrics. That's so funny that they mentioned that. So check this out. Dear God, I wonder, can you save? And this is Jay-Z, The Devils. Devils is the song. Illuminati want my mind, soul, and body. Secret society trying to keep their eye on me. Illuminati want, I mean, that's crazy. So it's funny that he brought that up because 100% he is. They're hitting right on it. Okay. Hell yeah. Yep, we're good now.
Can you start over from what you were showing us? Because we just blanked out and had to come back again.
No, you're good. So actually, here we go. So Jay-Z. So I actually had this pulled up. And it's so funny you brought that up. So literally, Devils by Jay-Z, Devils. Dear God, I wonder, can you save me? Illuminati want my body. And he talks about secret societies trying to keep an eye on me. It's so funny you brought up Jay-Z first because I had that tab pulled up.
Nice.
Already. Yeah. And there's a lot of that like Luciferian, satanic, like ritualism and stuff like that tied to a lot of these people.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about Beyonce as like the whore of Babylon, or this?
I mean, she said that. She said that she was like, I forgot the name. It was like Ashoka or something like that. I forgot. It was like a river goddess or some kind of goddess. Yeah, dude, you keep losing them. I don't know if they're gonna be able to do StreamYard. We can look at the rest of that. 9 to 5 is how I survive. Yeah, you're talking about picking our brains for angles. Yeah, he didn't really talk much more than what we already did, but that's actually crazy. Yeah, Marilyn Manson. Everybody loves. Here we go.
Yo, yo, yo.
You're good.
Hey, can we do Zoom instead, bro? Because I don't think we're gonna be
Man,
able to get it through a whole episode of on this platform. I don't
that
know what it
sucks.
is, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably because it's through Google, right? Or through the internet. Either way.
Yeah.
I mean, Zoom is, but it's its own app. Dude, I could probably do it. I got rid of it, so I would just have the regular deal.
Let's try this. Let me see if I can. Let me open this link through fucking the others through Chrome and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I did it through a different internet platform one time and it worked better.
Okay, give me a second. We'll be right back.
You're set. You're set.
Ooh, this is
No, I
not
was talking
good.
about Marilyn Manson though. They're big on a lot of rappers nowadays. They mention a lot about Marilyn Manson and he was real big into Aleister Crowley. And even in his acts, like Crowley was big into the whole like do as thou wilt. And so there's a lot of like chaos and shock factor in Marilyn Manson's performances, like ritual style performances. And he actually had 3 albums that were a full occult initiation pretty much. It was the Hollywood Mechanical Animals and Antichrist Superstars. Those 3 together were like a full on occult. It's pretty nuts. A lot of thematic themes coming from Aleister Crowley. Once they're in here, we'll talk more about that. All right, cool.
Okay, we're
How's
back
that?
in Chrome. Yeah, we're gonna see how this goes.
Dude, you're a lot more clear, dude. You're looking a lot more
Okay,
clear.
good.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you switch over
my
to Chrome
fingers
from
crossed.
Safari,
Close out any tabs or anything, but otherwise you're set.
Oh yeah, everything's closed out.
You're set, dude.
For sure.
I was talking about
So yes.
Marilyn Manson, he's a big influence on rap, more than most people know. And
Yes.
he actually was
Really?
real tight. Yeah, dude, and he was real tight in with Aleister Crowley.
He was
Yeah, your audio is
literally, or he was like studied like Thelema.
Is he a high priestess of the Church of Satan or whatever?
He actually, he was very close to the Anton LaVey. Anton LaVey said that he embodied. He said that he embodied everything that was the satanic philosophy. That was something Anton LaVey said about Marilyn Manson. He was big into like the shock factor, self deification, kind of ritual style performances. And yeah, Aleister Crowley, was big into the whole "do as thou wilt," and he even talked about how he was built big philosophical influence on Manson.
Yeah, my dad used to listen to Manson when I was growing up, so I definitely grew up with Manson, but also with rap on my own end. So I can see, influence for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. Like,
where did the influence?
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. Where did the influences between Marilyn Manson and the hip hop community come in? Like that you say, more than more people think.
I've got a lot of examples.
Okay,
so
perfect.
I want to hear,
dude. A lot of examples. So Kanye West was the king of controversy, as we know, right? Major inspirations came from Manson, though, because Manson was a big controversial artist. Whenever you look at like what Manson did, it was a lot of controversial things. And so a lot of like Kanye brought him on stage with him before a few times, brought him onto shows, they hung out, and yeah, he called him out. I think Donda, he brought him onto tour. So you also have Lil Uzi Vert, and if you look at
I was gonna mention him.
Yeah, and Lil Uzi Vert, if you like ignore the other L, it's like Lucifer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what they say. They say it's Lucifer. If you say it fast, Uzi Vert, like it's Lucifer.
Shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And he's worn like Manson chains. He bought $100,000 Manson diamond.
What about his diamond, right? The diamond that he got implanted in his forehead?
Forehead, yeah, for like the third eye, right?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. And he spent $100,000 on a Manson chain.
Yeah, bro. I mean, a lot of the times when you look into like the mystery schools and like the little ancient teachings and all that kind of stuff, the occult symbolism, like you'll see it like in the music and the artist industry. Like Gunna has like the fucking the Vitruvian Man, the Leonardo.
Oh yeah,
Da
it's his
Vinci
cover.
drawing.
Him as
That's
it.
the
Yeah.
Universal Man, yeah.
And then also, The Weeknd has that in one of his videos, the video called "Sacrifice," where he's like singing. One of the shots is just him like inside of a circle in a square like that.
I was gonna
It's
bring
crazy.
up his halftime Super Bowl show.
Oh shit.
That one was good. It was a crazy like Hollywood ritual revelation and stuff. It was sick.
Yeah, it was very fucking demonic. It was crazy. Yeah, dude, I remember seeing that. I was like, what the fuck? It's like all these buildings and it's the angels coming down, but they're like then they go red.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It gets like dark. It was something else for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of occult and satanic stuff within all the music industry. I think because the people that own obviously the record labels, it gets down to that. But yeah, it goes deep, dude. Extentation's a huge example. That gets into a whole rabbit hole.
Whole nother rabbit hole, yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the first guys that was talking about like frequencies and how they actually affect you subconsciously and stuff like that. And that was right before they took him out. You know what I'm saying?
He was also talking, yeah, definitely. And he was also talking about how I have a video where he talks about how he contacted Hecate, which is like the kind of like mother witch, you know what I mean? And he's pretty much got his soul taken. He put that in that what is that song?
What?
I spoke to dude, we could get into it, bro. I got a lot on extentation, bro. So all right.
Damn,
so,
I never heard that one, bro. Let's go deep on that real quick.
Yeah, we will, bro, because it's actually one of my favorite. I was really excited for this one. We'll get right in. Okay, so all right, check this out. Let's start off with the video where he talked. Okay, let me fix my share to where you could hear the sound. But yeah, check. Once you see this video, dude, you're gonna be like, okay, because he talks about how you contact Hecate and pretty much do a deal with her. And he's on the phone while he's in jail.
We had a Go ahead. Just watch the video. I'll talk to you because we're hearing the feedback with him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you might have to like mute your screen, but it's fine. It does that sometimes.
Summoning Hecate, goddess of crossroads, darkness, witchcraft, wisdom, and the moon. Please come to me, please.
Tell me how to spell the name summoning.
All right, started playing his song in the background, so I can't play that too long. But you heard him say that, right? So he's saying summoning Hecate, and you do a deal with him or her, right, and all that. So yeah, it's he gets wild. And then there's another one where he made that song where he said, "I talked to the devil in Miami," and he said everything will be all right, right? And whenever you look at the lyrics of the song, he talks about how he talked to a Baphomet or whatever. Where is it? Right here. Hold on, let me find it. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, I spoke to a Baphomet, and he said that he would save me if I gave him one thing he needed. What is that thing? It is the key. It is the key to even. But then check this out. Check this out. It said, taken back, he smiles and tells me, what you crave will soon be yours, but what I crave is already mine. And then he says, anima vestra. Anima vestra means a soul, your soul, in Latin. And so he's saying, dude, he literally says in his song, bro, that he's talking to these deities and they're saying, I got your soul. And that's all I really want at the end of the day. And you got what you wanted. But then what happens? He dies, right? And that's the Faustian bargain in work, right? Because when you make a deal with the devil, when you make a deal with the demon, what happens? Faustian, he was like a guy way back in the day that did deal with the devil. And he wrote that they want you to not be able to come through with whatever it is that you're supposed to bring them, whether it's like a soul every year or whatever it is. And they want you to not be able to come through with it because then that's the sooner that they can get your soul.
The contract is now void.
Yeah. And even better if like somebody like Drake, you know what I mean? Allegedly, you know what I mean? When you get that hex while he flew to Turks, right? In that song. I don't know, dude. There's some odd shit with that. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of magic
that
that
because
goes
I don't know
on.
what you're talking about. What is that hex you're talking about?
Oh, do you remember? Okay, so there's lyrics here. Hold on, let me get it pulled up. Drake.
Hey, we were on the show. We brought a ritual magician on who does ritual magic and does like contracts with demons and stuff like that. And he was telling us about how he works with like people in Hollywood and stuff like that. And we're just like, bro, like if you guys don't think all that stuff is real by now, like, you know, like you guys gotta know this is
practice this stuff
that are going on that put symbolism in the music and the entertainment and the movies and the television and all of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy to actually, when you learn about it from the other side, when you're seeing the images and what they mean, like just because you're reading about fucking, you know, whatever and shit, and then you're like, oh shit, you see it in like a movie or something like that. You're like, oh, okay, I know.
So when I was real
message.
big into shooting music videos with Busick, I would tell him like, look, we need to put subliminal, whether it's a flash or these. And he was like, I'm like, look, I show him music videos. I'm like, you see that? What was that for? And he was like, oh, all right. He goes, this is what they do, you know? And I'm like, yeah, this is what they do. Like the program subconsciously.
Oh, 100%, dude. Here, I'm about to show you. Here, let me show you. I found it. So remember that Knife Talk song that you had with 21 Savage?
Yep.
Voodoo Curse, it got him while I flew to Turks. And allegedly he was going there during that time. I don't know. People said, you know what I mean? So, like, there's weird shit like that goes on. And you know that the Drake and XXXTentacion beef stems from the Look at Me song that XXXTentacion came out. And then at the same time, Drake dropped an album with the same song and same cadence as his song. And so he went after him for copyright issues, and it became a whole thing. And then after that, some years go by, but he never gave up. So it was a whole thing. And so there's a lot with that shit, dude. I think it's kind of real, man.
Witchcraft wars, bro. That's what
like even
that's what it comes down to. Because really, like when you think about like how you were a kid and you would see like the witches in the movies back in the day, and all their spells would rhyme. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. They're putting words together in a fashion to where they make sense on multiple levels, to where not only they rhyme, but they have like double, triple entendres. And the more double and triple entendres, the more the energy of your mind goes to. So people are able to manifest things for them, you know, like predictive programming and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 1,000%, dude. And well, okay, so another thing that I was gonna bring up was, you know, the 6'7" craze going on with these kids nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but I heard about it.
Yeah, Skrilla,
okay.
right?
So we can run through this. So you remember this song 6 foot 7 foot, right? Lil Wayne. Yeah, and you've heard of like 607. Yeah, have you ever heard of 607?
607 Unk. Yeah.
Yeah, 6'7", right? Okay, so what is 6'7"? Let's get into that, right? Because that's important. So 6'7" represents the number. 6 is the number of man, right? And 7 is the number of the illumined man, right? So 7 seals, 7 chakras, 7 heavens, 7 hells, right?
Okay.
7 hermetic principles, right? All those things. But this is moving through the lower to reach the higher. So this is kind of a dark left-hand path version, because what they're doing is, in other words, it's self-deification through rebellion. And so Skrilla, who talks about talking and meeting with Papa Legba, who decides who passes through the other sides at the crossroads, the same person as Hecate, who rules the crossroads, right? So we're talking about the same deity. And right, and it's the indication, like Bone Thug says, meet me at the crossroads, right? We're talking about We're talking about Saturn here. We're talking about the black cube, essentially. And the illumined man, what is that really? Whenever you look at that, if these same people practice it, and then somebody like Skrilla talks about openly blood sacrifice with goats and chickens.
Doesn't he like raise chickens to sacrifice them?
Yes, and then he talks about using people's birthdays and their pictures, and then they get shot in the streets. You know, he's doing straight voodoo on them, right?
And so
yeah, man, this is I think it's deep. You know, you got Young Thug on video sacrificing a goat with the YSL crew back in, like, what was that, 2023? I think that was a few years ago.
Yeah, it was right before like the big case. Yeah,
dude, I've always
been, remember that?
No,
I've always been
real before the big case.
I'm
telling you, that's that
one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things have always been rap, dude. That's all.
Oh yeah.
I've always been big into it.
I was just telling him during the World Series, I was like, so basically this year the Dodgers witchcraft was stronger than the Blue Jays witchcraft. You know what I mean? Because it seeps into everything. You know what I'm saying? Like there's witchcraft, there's magic everywhere. Like whether it's a small ritual to a big ritual, you know what I'm saying? In Catholic churches when they do the freaking communion bread, you know what I'm saying? Or like LeBron James when he does a little fucking hand signals before every game.
It's a ritual.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's all rituals, it's all magic. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 1,000%, dude. Yeah, it's energy, right? It's some kind of energy harvesting at the end of the day, you know, like do you remember Young Nudie? He had that Dr. Evil album, and he was like Papa Legba. He had that top hat. Remember, he's sitting there with like the mannequin or the little, you know, that's like full on voodoo shit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's crazy.
shit.
Kodak Black did the same thing, you know.
Oh yeah, that Haitian voodoo witchcraft.
Yeah, a lot of Haitians, bro. The crazy thing about what was it, like those religions, like the hoodoo and the voodoo, the century, all that, is that they'll take the Catholic saints and they'll assign their own deities to them that kind of like are the parallels to those things. So it's like, you know,
what's
like
the
because
difference, dude?
I guess they were trying to convert those people when they were taking over those islands and convert them to their own thing, and they were just all right, we still gonna practice witchcraft. We just gonna, instead of putting these up, we just gonna put the Catholic ones up. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think about people like channeling spirits when they're rapping? Because you have like Coolio and Lil Wayne and a couple other people who had openly admitted to that, where they're like, it's not me rapping, like I started and it just goes. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a sense of that is like a flow state thing, and then there's a sense of that where they're really saying that. Look, sometimes they're saying a thing without saying it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
because it might be indicating, you know, it just comes through me, but then also they may be like, because I did a thing,
do this, something speaking through me. Yeah,
it's very wild. Yeah, dude. The voodoo thing. You know, it's funny because Kodak Black, you know, he was big with the voodoo sigils and everything on his album cover, and then he says he's Jewish, right? Which is funny because all the Kabbalistic kind of Jewish magic and everything is really, the birth of that goes back to Babylon. So the Talmud that people talk about all the time now, right? That is called the Babylonian Talmud.
Yeah.
Right.
So
when you think about that, dude, we're talking about the same thing. And so again, I've brought this up whenever we talked before. The two Babylons, when we're talking about the two Babylons, what you just brought up, the Catholics, how they turn that into, you know, mixed folk magic with like the archangels and then turned it into some kind of voodoo. That's exactly what I mean by the two Babylons. That's what we're looking at. You're looking at the same thing just happening, right? And so it's being born in multiple different ways. You can rebrand the same style of like earth magic and everything else. All it is a manipulation of nature, right? And that's why it's easy to rebrand, and we think everything's different. Then it's not. They're very similar.
Repackaged.
Yeah, so what is probably one of the biggest indicators or pieces of research you've came upon that is just super convincing? Is like, if I took the time to break this down to show someone, like, there's no convincing them that this stuff is not real. You know what I'm saying?
What, the magic or the fact that it permeates, this Luciferian part permeates everything?
Anything, bro. Either one. Any piece of evidence that's just like, if I show this to someone, there's no way they can argue against me that this is fucking, you know, that there's satanic worship or secret societies or whatever embedded within the entertainment industry, politics, music, and TV or anything like that. Is there anything like within your like recent research? I know you got into a lot of like Triple X. I don't know how to fucking say it.
XXXTentacion.
Yeah. What are some of the bigger rabbit holes you've gotten into recently?
Besides, okay. I mean, at the end of the so like when it comes to the hip hop shit, fucking in the rap shit, it's easy. The symbology part, right? I mean, it's you know, I mean, they all just display it. If I was to talk to somebody that, you know, wasn't really, you know, they didn't really fuck with this kind of stuff, I would start small. You know, I always start small, and I always start with things your eyes see, because there is something to symbology. Like, that's why we focus on it so much in the conspiracy world, because symbolism really does touch on the subconscious level, and that's how you start to see the mind to kind of open it. If you, with that symbolism, also add in information, right? And so what I would do is I would show them the dollar bill, and I would point out the pyramid on the back, and I would point out the Latin letters and what that means, and I would point out the eye, and I would say, why is that there, right? And also, what does that mean? And then maybe I would point out the Freemasonic aspect of the Freemasons or the founding fathers, and maybe I would point out later after that, start leading them towards the secret destiny of America by Marilyn Piot. Like, just kind of start seeding them slowly, you know. But yeah, you kind of start with like the symbology, or like point, why does the ambulance have 2 snakes wrapped around a staff? You know, what is that?
Like,
what does that mean? Right?
Yeah.
And so you start kind of pointing that shit out, and then they're like, huh, why does that have it? You wait a little bit and then add some more shit in. That's the best you could do.
I mean, a big one too is just find out who Aleister Crowley is and look at all the people wearing them on their shirts, using them on their album covers, and why him?
Yeah, no, 1,000%. It's funny. I was just reading this website, and it was all trying to debunk all the myths about Aleister Crowley. And it was, I realized I was on ac.com, AleisterCrowley.com. I was like, oh, well. Yeah, I mean, duh, you didn't, right?
I was doing my research and I accidentally went straight to the source.
A little biased.
Yeah.
No way too close to home.
It was very funny. I was like, okay, I see how it is. Yeah, so also with you know, you've got with the Manson shit, I'll finish with that. The Manson connection. So like Trippie Redd as well references Manson in a lot of interviews. He calls him spiritual influence. Playboy Cardi, obviously, with the King Vamp energy, right? The chaos, dark, fucking crazy stuff, shit he does. Yeah, Blood Shoes. Similar to Lil Nas X, same thing. And also, do you know about the Opium record label by Playboy Cardi?
You know what? I don't know if I heard you talking about that on one of your recent. Yeah, I did. I heard you talking about it on one of your lives recently, bro.
I think, I definitely I might have mentioned it to you, but I definitely here. Let me. So what it is Playboy Cardi has a record label, but it's like really just the people on it, and what they push is just like doing drugs, dark, for young kids, stuff like that. It's called Opium. I think there's Atlanta. I think it's Atlanta Records. Or no, maybe it's who's the big records over it? I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's got some like dark kind of themes to it. More drug kind of that kind of shit. Just pushing the classic. Oh, here. Wait, did I just now put it on here? Did I have this on here the whole time?
Yeah, that was on there before.
Okay, but yeah, so anyway, but yeah, the Opium, just the whole thing, and then the drug, you know, just pushing the drugs constantly, and rap and everything else. Drugs, murder, and then now a little bit more about the blood kind of sacrifice aspect of it that's coming out.
What about like Travis Scott, right? In Astro World, like
exactly, right?
Behind that.
Exactly. Very ritualistic murders. He's sitting there humming and like doing a whole tune. What is that? You know what I mean? It's like you're on a upside down cross. At the end of it's a portal, and then you have a dove, which represents the Holy Spirit, that just combusts on fire, and then the show starts. Yeah, and then and then the show starts, right? And it's like, fuck. You know,
that's a transformation. That's an alchemical process right there. You're walking through his giant mouth.
Yeah, and then this is how it starts, right? And then later you have people die. He's like humming, and it's a whole thing. The whole thing is a ritual. I mean, really, I can't see it any other way. Really, we did an episode on that. It was portals. I don't know. It was all about Travis Scott, but portal episode. We did 6G agenda portals, and dude, that shit. We talked all about that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Kardashian family and the Jenner family have a history of, you know, taking men in the music industry and just making them crazy, you know what I'm saying? Or like, it's not crazy, something weird going on, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't know, it always seems like an artist gets to a point in their career where it's just like, they do kind of well. Maybe they're like a writer or someone behind the scenes or something, and then they do like their first album and then start getting more buzz like on their second or third album. And then it's always seems that either they lose someone really close to them, like their mom Kanye West with his mom or something like that. Could be Jay-Z with Biggie. Could be, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. And then right after that, they just boom, just start going crazy.
Skyrocket.
And they just like fucking movies everywhere and all these deals,
Brand
and shit.
deals,
and it's
yeah.
just like, and then you hear like, you know, like these ritual magicians and going back and saying like how like, oh, you can make deals with these demons and demonology and the Lesser Key of Solomon and the Ars Goetia and all that stuff. And you're just like seeing the parallels between all this, and you're like, oh, like they're doing ritual magic on a higher level.
What do you
know
think
I'm saying?
about like Mac Miller and Rick Rubin and, you know, their transcendental meditation when they record and doing all that stuff?
Well, Mac
I was
Miller
gonna
had
bring
Mac Miller had Harvey Pasternak as his trainer, and that guy always has people that die. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
like he had Brittany Murphy, fucking,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, there's a
Well,
bunch
he
of
was
them.
also Kanye West's personal trainer, bro, and he was the one
Right.
sending him those crazy messages to him, talking
Yes.
about, you know, you're gonna be in La La Land and all this, and then look where he's at now, like talking all this shit about the Jade,
Exactly.
and then talking with the freaking. Did you see that? How he was with the
Oh,
rabbi
bro,
a
I
few
sent
days
that to
ago?
you. I sent that to you. I'm like, look at this fool. He's doped up, pleading
What do
to
you
a
think
rabbi.
about? What do you think about King Von? You know, in the sacrifice with, you know, Dirk and everything. Do you think that was a sacrifice by Dirk to, you know, that's kind of going around? I mean, I don't know, man. Like, there's that kind of shit too. Like, record labels do sacrifice people. You know, I mean, they get the life insurance policies. You know, the star. What about the star? Right, the star ring, and then people that die from death. You know, with the star ring or whatever. The rappers
Yeah.
that, you know.
Tell us about that connection.
King
bro,
Von
'cause I don't know
is
about that
evil
one.
for sure. I think he was a demon of some sort.
Oh
For
yeah,
sure.
dude. I mean, no, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely a. What was it? The star ring from like different music industries. I forgot what music industry it was. What record label it was. I'm trying to remember. What's the big one? What's the big one?
4PF? I don't know.
No, the big record labels, like the big
Universal.
Universal, Sony.
Yeah.
Def Jam.
We're getting there. We're getting there. You'll get there. Hold on, I'm trying to look it up. I'm trying to find the star ring.
What are the big records?
You've seen the star ring. Here, once I show you the star ring, you'll know what I'm talking about, at least, at the very least. Hold up. Let me find
let's see it. Let's see it.
Yo, where'd it go? Wait a minute.
And are you saying that King Von?
Have you seen this? You've seen the star ring, right? So that, like, the star ring.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen the ring for
rappers
sure.
have.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that. Yeah.
Like Dolph, right? Dolph had his star ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right. So, like, there's a lot of people that do, like Vaughn, I think, had the star ring. Yeah, there it is. He had it. He died. A lot of rappers have it and then they die. But you know, a lot of rappers have it in general, and a lot of rappers die. So it could just be nothing, right? But it is definitely a thing that people have brought
if
up.
I was a rapper, I would not be wearing a star ring.
Well, you know, you're in the club, right? I mean, that's
Young Dolph had that album right before he passed or whatever, and his opening line of his song is, "If I sacrifice myself, will I go to hell?" Right, and then he died.
I had
right
this
after
theory.
that.
I had this theory. He sacrificed himself for Glock's success.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
To
Bro,
keep
you
him
ever heard
to
the
keep it going.
666 Mafia song "Fucking with This Click"?
That's
bro, in the 90s. In the 90s,
can you imagine?
they were openly talking about.
Oh yeah, did you hear about the sigil rap, like sigil rap beats from the 3-6 Mafia?
Oh yeah.
No, tell us about that.
Finish what you were saying about 3-6. Yeah, finish what you were saying about 3-6 Mafia.
Oh, there's this song called "Fucking with This Click," bro, and they're talking about, like, you know, the cross upside down and all this and this, and like just blatant satanic worship. And this was in the mid 90s, late 90s, I think, bro. 3-6 Mafia.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, they're part of that. They're part of that Memphis, like, dark sigil rap.
Well, isn't Memphis a place in Egypt, right? So that goes back to like ancient times, because there's Memphis, Egypt.
Yeah, so they allegedly, there was like people, I guess I don't know if it was like recordings of people dying or something that they would put and then like reverse it
They
or
would
like
backtrack over
I
their
did hear
shit.
about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
and
heard
stuff like
that
that.
supposedly that they would, like you said, if they can get someone dying like on tape or like on microphone or something like that, they will put it into their recordings, and it would like kind of be like a ritual sacrifice within the music, embedded within the
Yeah.
sound, right?
And it's a sigil because people listen to it and they give their energy to the music when they hear it. And that's, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's kind of like the Super Bowl,
damn.
the Super Bowl halftime you mentioned earlier. That's exactly what that is. It's
Right.
it's energy
Everyone's
harvesting.
energy at once. Yeah.
Yeah, attention equals energy, right? So like that is what that is, you know. Especially on a subconscious level that sometimes you don't recognize, like especially people that are kind of more asleep, quote unquote. They tend to just not see it at all, right? But
They
somebody like,
overlook it. Yeah.
and if you're analyzing, it's not like you're not giving your attention to it still, though. You are.
Oh, for
Even when you're
sure.
like
For
somebody like
sure.
us that's analyzing, like that's something I've realized
For
recently is
sure. You
when
might be
I'm
giving it more energy.
yeah, exactly. That's what
You're
I'm
paying
kind of starting
attention
to
to it
think.
more. Yeah.
By paying attention to it too much, when it like, you know, restudy, like the studying part that I do, I feel like is almost worse. Because
Yeah.
you're, you know,
Yeah. I don't know. I like to get an understanding of everything, which is why like I'm not so. As soon as there's like a lot of people that are like, as soon as they see Freemason, they think bad. You know what I'm saying? But like me, I've studied so
right.
much into
Yeah,
it that it's
no.
like I feel like it's more like it's almost like a martial art. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you can use it for bad or you can use it for good. But most people that discover this magic and this knowledge, they use it for bad. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're the elites. That's why they're at the top. That's why they run these secret societies that are embedded within everything. But also too, you get these lower level people that join these secret societies and they don't see it how bad it is because they're not at the top. You know what I'm saying? And that's the general consensus. I think a lot of people feel like when they research this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's true, but also I do think that there's something to that to the extent of people miss this. Freemasonry embodies good qualities of, you know, being a person, right? Good characteristics. But at the end of the day, it rejects God, the creator, for man's intellect. And I think that's the part that people kind of, that's what people are like, okay, but that's still like, yeah, that's some Luciferian shit, right? And so that is probably what you're talking about, where I agree that is how most people look at it. But the part where I'm like, it is still kind of fucked up is that they do reject the creator God because they believe that like we were held prisoner in the Garden of Eden and then we were saved by the snake. And the snake represents knowledge, and that's really, you know what I mean? And so that's the part of Freemasonry. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about that, right? But then every other part of it's great. Every great philosopher was a part of the mystery schools, right? All the renowned people like Plato, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, the the garden and the snake being the hero instead of the enemy story is based in Gnosticism, I think. And the way I like to explain it to people is just like, I feel like you have these stories that are kind of passed down like as allegories / real in order to paint this picture, in order for us to create this simulation that we're in mentally. Because I think this is a mental prediction that everyone has. It's like a shared hallucination. And the thing with the snake being the hero in the story as opposed to the enemy, it's almost like two people reading Batman and then one of them saying Batman's the good guy, the other one saying Batman's the bad guy. You know what I mean? So that's why when I start to think of it as a removed subject within the context, it's more like, okay, well, what is true about both stories? And then you see it's whatever it is, whatever aspect or perspective is drawn from, they're both drawn from the one story. So I guess in the context of my analogy, it would be, okay, there's crime in Gotham and there's good versus evil. And then you have this Cape Crusader that's fighting these bad guys on the streets. So you're kind of removed from the perspective of it. But that's how I like to look into this stuff, because it gets into other aspects and stuff too, like meditation and manifestation. So it's like, okay, like, is it satanic or whatever, or evil to practice manifestation or meditation or looking in the chakras and stuff like that? Because then a lot of people would also say like, oh, like Hindu gods and stuff like that, or like, you know, like the Watchers or like the Nephilim and stuff like that. So I get very I get very apprehensive to like choose sides or label things because then it kind of puts you in even kind of more of like a dogmatic perspective. I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I feel that. No, 100%. Because there's a weird thing where there's also an argument that we lost our spiritual nature in the Garden of Eden by choosing intellect, right? So
Okay.
there is a weird line that you do walk where it is like, okay, there's got to be some kind of spiritual aspect that you obtain here on earth that you're supposed to regain that you lost. Now, what is that is the argument. You know, what is the version of that? You know what I mean? Is it meditation? Is it manifestation? Is it worship? Is it prayer? Like whatever. Like what is it? You know, that's the argument people have. That's the part where people
Right.
split off. That's the part where that people can't get along on
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
their own version of what it is to be spiritual, which is really like, I mean, if it's not hurting anybody or messing with anybody, I mean, if you really are a better person for it, then what's the problem? You know what I mean? But
Right.
so I'm with you on that. Where getting dogmatic is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is this aspect of there's a level of people could take Freemasonic teaching and then read it wrong, not be spiritual at all, and then go full on like in the like full worship of self and intellect. That can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Absolutely.
But it can
Yeah.
happen
I
with
agree.
anything though. Like it can happen. A guru can be like that, right? So
Yeah.
it happens
Yeah.
that all humans can be prideful.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. And to bring back the discussion on like psychedelics and stuff like that, we had that clip that we got over that got sent over to doom scrolling, and I kind of feel like we kind of have like a differing perspective on it. And to just push back a little bit to that point is I feel like psychedelics are consciousness expanding, just like Freemasonic teachings and ancient teachings are like consciousness expanding. And I feel like that's why you have the same kind of not experiences, but same kind of like wisdom that you bring back from having a psychedelic trip as like, you know, looking into some of these things like as above, so below, or we are all one and stuff like that. So what I usually like to say is that instead of them finding out that psychedelics were mind controlling in the MK Ultra, they were mind expanding. And what we really think is that instead of the psychedelics like LSD and mushrooms being like the mind control drugs, is more of like the SSRIs. Because like I said, like when you have like these psychonauts and these people doing like mushrooms and LSD and stuff like that, they tend to be more people like us where they're like questioning not only like politics and stuff like that and the left wing, right wing, but also questioning like reality.
Question everything.
Like as opposed to like people that are on like SSRIs or even like opiates and stuff like that.
They're kind of zombies.
Where they're kind of like zombies.
They're just going.
I'll just argue this. Mushrooms weren't really used that much. LSD, methamphetamines, a lot, large doses, the type that induce psychosis, the types that it's not the kind that you're doing with your buddies at a rave. It's like another level that they did during MK Ultra. It was to see how you could crack the brain, you could wipe the brain, you could program the brain. Very different level of psychedelics. I'm not saying
there's people that lost 40 years of memory.
Yeah, I'm not saying all psychedelics are just absolutely just demonic and terrible. I'm arguing that what they did was fucked up, and then they utilized the hippie movement to discredit them by having some bad apples that were used in MK Ultra, like Charles Manson.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Hypnotize people, and not only did he hypnotize people and then put them on acid, he put them on methamphetamines in large amounts of it. And again, that was used in MK Ultra too. So is the different? What I was arguing was that it was another level. It was like they were doing this shit on a crazy level, right? And then they were creating culture changing things with it. And it wasn't that every hippie that did psychedelics or mushrooms was messed up. It's that there was bad actors because of MK Ultra and the CIA during that time.
Yeah, the whole connotation just got skewed. Yeah,
they were doing crazy shit. And also what I argued was that during that time, because nobody really said that they were abducted by aliens without being hypnotized first and then doing memory retraction, which hypnotism is part of MK Ultra, which is why I argued that that is probably more of an MK Ultra aspect too, and that it's more likely our technology that we could have reverse engineered possibly from ancient tech. Who knows? But what I'm arguing is that the alien abduction shit and the psychedelics being used at that level was MK Ultra, and it was wrong. And yeah, that's all. I'm not saying that
Okay.
it's all demonic. Now,
No,
I
I mean,
advocate for
I
some
mean, it's
mushrooms. I think mushrooms are, natural, so that's different, and that's
okay.
different. So, yeah.
I mean, you do great research. You know what I'm saying? I just I didn't mean to challenge you or anything like that.
No, I just wanted to lay out the
Yeah,
full.
yeah.
I just
Okay.
wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make sure that we're both
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
same page, that you
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
understood
yeah.
my thought,
Totally agree
and
with
that,
you. Yeah.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
I want you to know that, hey, dude, I don't know if I would do acid again, but mushrooms, whatever, that's cool. Like I do that
I
like
got some in my
once
Oh,
every
fridge.
did
twice
you
I got
twice a
some
year.
LSD in my fridge. Let's go.
did you do acid, bro?
Yeah.
How was
I
it?
did many times. And
Yeah.
I would say that, there was a point in time where I was a wild boy and I did everything except for mescaline that I would, or in like meth. Like I didn't do that. But everything except for that, and like, I definitely wanted to try mescaline. You know what I mean? Like peyote, that's kind of a natural thing. I would probably still
Hmm.
maybe try. But there
Yeah,
is
yeah,
this
yeah.
aspect of you need to be careful because there are entities to watch for. You know what I'm saying? And are you in the
Yeah.
right state of mind? What kind of vibration are you at? Because you could be vibing on a level that's going to attract things that are negative, wanting to harvest negative energy and then work on you, right? And so when we're talking
For
about
it, yeah.
spirit, not all spirits are bad, like, right? But then there are these ones that are. So that's what I always argue is you got to be very careful. And everybody who does any kind of spiritual work says the same thing. They always say, don't do any Kundalini work unless you've done like everything that you need to do to get ready for it, because then you could totally screw yourself up, because that's how that works. You don't want to access that other realm until you're fully, ready and prepped.
It's happened to me, bro. I went into a psychosis one time, bro. I had a spontaneous Kundalini awakening in 2022, I think. And then a few months later, I decided to stop smoking. When I started smoking again, I started to get, it was like another Kundalini awakening, but instead of being able to control it and ride it through and actually like fucking have like a fucking enlightening experience, I fucking went crazy, bro. Like I don't even remember part of it. Like I guess I was trying to attack my sister. They had to call the ambulance on me. I don't even like talking about it or thinking about it, bro. But you're exactly right, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, and
dude.
that's why, you do have to, everybody, and I've read deep into what you guys are super into. So I'm fully like, I would say that I'm probably right there on your level. So I do understand. And
Yeah.
it is very enticing too, especially like Freemasonry. Like we have our a listener here talking about that they have family that's in a worshipful master of the Scottish
Yeah.
Rite, right? And
Uh-huh.
like I said, I'm not saying that it is all like evil demonic, but there is some men at the highest levels, mostly working with the banking cabal families, things like that, that do have some left-hand path style shit going on.
Yes.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
33rd degree Freemason Manly P. Hall even says that that's the problem throughout history, is that we have lost a lot of the ancient knowledge from antiquity of spiritual knowledge because of men who have practiced material magic throughout time, which is what's going on today with this digital enlightenment that we talk about, right? And
Yeah.
so that's what I'm pointing out, that there's two different paths you can take that both are the same thing, right? They're both Kabbalah, they're both spiritual, right? But one is the left hand and the right hand path, and unfortunately they do look too similar, and you got to be careful, man, because they look so similar.
I agree. I mean, like I said, we talked about the ritual magician we had a few episodes back, and he was a left hand path magician, and he talks about doing deals with demons and contacting demons and all that kind of stuff, and he reads tarot cards and stuff like that, and it's made us start to question, like, oh shit, like it's a very thin and blurry line when you start getting into the mysticism and the esotericism and stuff like that, so it's very easy to see that people can learn this type of stuff and then fall the wrong way, which is probably what we're noticing publicly with these celebrities that do really well and then something bad happens to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because yes, I mean, the easiest entities to contact for if you want to get ahead in life, these are entities that are not the positive, you know what I mean? Like you're not contacting angels to make money and get a mansion and because God is not of this earth. You know what I'm saying? Like God is not, if you want to get spiritual,
Not of the material world.
It's not gonna be buying a Lotus. I promise you that, right? So it's that kind of
Yeah.
concept of like, what are you trying to do the magic for? Is it selfish magic? Then you're doing the left-hand path, and that's it. There's no argument there. And that's something that
I agree.
right? So it's different if you're trying to like heal if you're trying to make people better, like Reiki.
Yeah.
Reiki is a style of magic in a way that is done that is positive, right? So, and speaking of negative magic, can I show you this? I had this.
Yeah. Show us whatever you got, bro.
So
We're in your
voodoo.
classroom, bro.
No. Voodoo with Kodak Black and Future, though, dude. Hey, I love rap, dude. I would say that I've studied rap as much as I have conspiracies and mystery schools. Voodoo by Kodak Black and Future. I danced with the devil so long, she pulled me closer. Remember, he said she. Been sleeping with demons and how they got there. She invited them over. So then later it talks about I pray to the angels, but the devil is stronger. Try to break free, but she won't let me. She said, don't waste time thinking I'm going to heaven because all my blessings, she's the one who sent them. Is he talking about Hecate there? Remember, we were talking about the moon goddess Hecate.
Yeah.
Who's she? The lady at the crossroads, right?
Mm-hmm.
And voodoo. We're talking about voodoo is the name of the song there, right? With Kodak Black. I mean, come on, man. It is right there for everybody to see, dude.
Yeah.
That's some real shit, dude. I love it. Yeah.
Did you hear?
endless,
Have you heard
right?
about that song that Nas did where he was talking about drinking his own piss?
Drinking his own piss.
Yeah.
No,
I gotta
don't
find
remember
it,
that
bro.
one.
I'll find this song, bro. I'll ask ChatGPT.
Definitely.
I never heard of that one.
Well, did you ever see the goat sacrifice? Did you know that Young Thug's lawyers were pushing to keep it out of the RICO trial?
Do you think that was connected to the case, though?
I don't know. I don't know if it's
see it?
connected. Well, here's the thing: when the murders and shit like that were happening, it's very possible that the night that who did he have beef with? It was YFN Lucci. The night that like whenever YFN Lucci's girlfriend or his sister or whatever got killed, I don't know. It could have been around that time. I'm not sure because remember they had people that died, both of them on both sides.
Right.
Crazy, bro. That's real shit that goes on because of this stupid, like, wild shit that these people do.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to Led Zeppelin, bro. Jimmy Page, dude, he bought Aleister Crowley's house. He was like, loving Aleister Crowley shit. He, they each got a sigil, and that's what that was for Led Zeppelin, the sigils there. And then, and what else? What was I gonna say? Yeah, he beefed with another dude that did magic, bro. Next thing you know, Robert Plant's daughter dies, I believe, and then the drummer dies, and it's a whole thing because they're messing with magic and they're pissing other people off to do it, and it's just a crazy game out there.
It's Harry Potter.
That's what I think is going on with
Casting
these rappers,
spells.
bro. Like I said, I mean, like we said, it's obvious, but I think when these rappers are writing diss songs about each other, it's almost like they're doing witchcraft at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people might not like this, but I think Kendrick's into that occultism, esotericism, because he says, I only answer to Gabriel, I only answer to Metatron. Those are angels that you can meditate and communicate with. And then also he has that song Resurrection, where in the verse he's talking about it's like almost like a Gnostic kind of vibe, where he's talking about being the devil and being like an angel that fell down, and like how do you get back into heaven and all that kind of stuff, bro. And people are like, oh, is he summoning the devil? And it's like I said, like if you haven't researched Gnosticism and secret societies and all that stuff, you won't see what the message is in the music or like the perspective he's coming from.
Even he says reincarnation and stargazing. Like,
yeah. It's the worship of Lucifer, man. I mean, the fallen angel, right? The morning star, right? I mean, that's what we're looking at, and it's the worship of intellect. It's the worship. It's the idea of the masculine and feminine principles, coming together in balance and everything, but it becomes something different at some point, obviously, because then these people start doing some weird demonic shit. So I don't understand how the same principles that we know that they're practicing become that, but at some point it does. So I don't try to be too weird, but like I haven't gotten deep enough in it to figure out where it forks off, but at some point it does, clearly. So I'm not sure, man. One day maybe we'll find out.
Well, like I said on the tinfoil hat, I mean, as humans, we have free will. That's why we're not angels or demons, because angels or demons can only act within the aspects of, whether, good or evil or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the same thing with magic, to where it's like if you use your magic to good, you're using it for God's will. And the more you use it for bad, like the more you're branching off into like a free will thing, whether it's like, the SRA of children, or whether it's like blood sacrifice, animal sacrifice, human sacrifice, or whatever. You're branching more and more off this way. You know what I'm saying? So I think you have a pretty similar perspective as to what I have on it, because like you said, like, if you're trying to, use this knowledge to heal people as opposed to use it for a material gain, which is the other side of the free will aspect. That's why I think that's why almost every religion, like Christianity, Buddhism, all that stuff, you have to align yourself with God's will in order to ascend. So it's like it's a free will thing. It's choose left hand or right hand. You know what I'm saying? It's left hand path, right hand path. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it all comes down to, man.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of the music industry, as we talked about tonight, is focused on material gain. So that's why we see a lot of, and that's why we see a lot of the iconography that we talked about, because that's what the fuck they have to worship. If you're gonna, hey, you don't get to walk through these doors unless you're signing up that way. You know what I mean? That's they got to sign.
Yeah. And that's why I think a lot of those people that go through that cycle, or they like take a peek behind the curtain, they see what's going on, most of them turn Christian. You know what I'm saying? I was hearing that Kaylani turned Christian recently. You know what I'm saying? You have like
Mace turned into
a pastor and shit. Kat Von D as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a large
doing all that weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a major Christian nationalism thing going on right now that worries me a little bit as well. I've been kind of getting into it on my show kind of recently. Maybe we'll talk about it sometime. But yeah, it's hitting a level where it's going to turn into too much. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, religion is a vehicle, and you can take that vehicle to you can use it for mind control. You know what I mean? So like I said, like we said earlier, you got to be careful with being dogmatic. I think that's why there's a big divide in the spiritual community between like the really conservative Christians and like the spiritual Christians that are just like, oh, like Jesus went to Tibet and then he came back and taught us how to meditate and do yoga and all. He was teaching us how to free ourselves, as opposed to the other people that are like, no, that's not what it says in the book. Meditation is demonic, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So I think you're right. I think there is a danger to being too dogmatic.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And that Christian nationalism is coming in heavy, dude. I mean, just recently, people I know, man. I mean, America is Christian was what they said. And I was like, well, America's freedom of religion is more important. It's way more important than their claim to Christianity. And they just like lost their fucking minds. And I was like, dude, all I'm saying is, as soon as you tell somebody that they can't practice their religion, you're now making it where you're free game eventually. And not only that, what version of Christianity gets to rule America? Is it going to be Lutheranism, Pentecostal, Catholicism? You have so many versions. As soon as you say it's one, then the other ones are gone. You see what I'm saying? So it becomes this thing where you can't. This is why the Freemason found fathers, who were very smart, in the fact that they hated the church and they hated persecution for being heretics in the past, for having different ideals than the Catholic Church. So what did they do? They created a country where everybody could practice whatever ideologies and Christian, religions that they had, right? And now the pendulum, because of the demoralization that's been going on for the past 5 years to 10 years, and then the New York mayor, everything happening at once, it's making everybody get really crazy, dude. The pendulum swung back a little too far, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, once they see a movement, they hijack it for their purposes. You know what I'm saying? That's why you get when you go from BLM, or you go from all lives matter to Black Lives Matter to critical race theory. Now they're trying to teach people in schools, if you're born white, you're born racist. And it's like, bro, like, why are you teaching kids that? Can we just bring it back to the 90s where like everyone's different, but we're born equal? You know what I'm saying? Like, can we just keep it basic instead of trying to add all this nuance to this shit?
I didn't look at color as a kid. Now it's taught.
Yeah, exactly. For
real.
I think that's my issue with the Democratic Party, because you have all these movements that end up, that start as good ideas and they end up, as like, I'm all down for the LGBTQ, but then like drag time story hour with the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like bringing them to the pride parades. Like kids don't need to be at pride parades. Like they don't need to be being read books by, you know,
like I said, I was the only male in an all-female wedding, a gay wedding. It was lit. It was my aunt. My aunt's gay. You know, I have no problems, but don't teach these kids and shit.
Like,
no, we live in an all or nothing. It's an all or nothing society for sure. You know, it's white or black. You know what I mean? It's you know, you don't get one. It's one or the other for sure, and that's what sucks. The dichotomy aspect of people's minds. Well, shit happens. Hopefully it gets better though. Hopefully it doesn't get too crazy with the Christian nationalism thing. I'm trying to at least talk a lot about it, because I'm like, dude, we got a choice. It's gonna be Handmaid's Tale, right? Style, police state, church state mixed together, censorship, or it's gonna be like Blade Runner, fucking everybody just does drugs and does whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah,
but like probably not gonna be that cool though. You know what I mean? Like not as cool as the movie, but that style of society, right? Demoralized essentially. And so it seems like we don't have a choice.
Being both, where the red states kind of are more like the Handmaid's Tale, and the blue states are kind of more of like the fucking Blade Runner style. Everyone's doing drugs.
Nation states don't survive this. Nation states are not going to survive what's coming. It's going to be a global society very soon. The tokenization of everything is going to be under one central digital currency, carbon credit, whole deal. So there ain't going to be none of that. You may find patches of areas where you get better than others. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think we got a chance, bro. I was telling somebody today, I was like, I think we've overturned a lot of the things they were trying to do, especially because they tried to drag COVID out so long, and midway through COVID, people were just like,
I'm over this.
Like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Fuck this mask. Fuck all this shit. And then, you know, like, everyone was just like, that was kind of bullshit that they pulled on us. And then now I feel like more of the general public is calling bullshit. Like, you remember when they tried to introduce monkeypox, and everyone was like, we're not fucking doing monkeypox. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we've had a few wins lately, and I feel like they're just throwing Hail Marys now. So I think we got to stay vigilant, stay talking, stay informing people, and
stay questioning everything.
I think we got a chance, because it's going to be hard to turn a whole nation into like
everyone believes one thing.
A fucking what do you call it?
Dystopia. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
It could happen though. We are going in that direction. You know what I'm saying? That's why we love having people like you on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got, like you said, stay vigilant, stay talking about it. Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, dude, we'll do it again. We'll have to find another topic. We'll go deep on. You could definitely do a lot more in the music industry too, for sure.
Hell yeah. 6G Agenda podcast, Outside Minds podcast, SwapCast. We gotta plug somebody real quick. We just want to say hi to our friends at, speaking of mushrooms, we want to say
Happy Caps.
Hi to our friends at Happy Caps Wellness. Go ahead and hit them up on Instagram, see what they're all about. I don't even know if I can talk about their product that much.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be trying it this week.
It's a mushroom supplement. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Mushroom supplement. We got chocolate bars. We got little caps to microdose or macrodose, whatever you want to do. You know, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna give that a shot.
Yeah. But anyways, like I said, 6G Agenda podcast. Andrew, man, you took us deep. Fourth time doing the SwapCast with you, bro. Love it. Like I said, congrats on the tinfoil hat appearance. I hope you guys, everybody, go check that out.
Good
on
episode.
Our channel. If you guys aren't following 6G Agenda podcast, follow them on YouTube, follow them on Instagram, follow them on all the sites. You know what I'm saying? You got anything else you want to leave us out with, bro?
No, yeah. Go check us out. 6G Agenda everywhere you find anything. 6G Agenda. And I'll shout out some people from the comments after we're done here. So, I guess, shout out to everybody in the comments for sure.
Yeah, shout out Sicario Witch. Shout out Pump That Bass.
Sicario, Pump That Bass.
Yeah, shout out all you guys.
We had Cake in a Cup earlier for sure, and Ray. Hell yeah, shout out everybody.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, dude, we'll do it again soon, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, 6Gs. Thank you, Outsiders, for tuning in. Thank you, everybody watching live right now. I'm the host and creator of the Outside Minds podcast, Stilo Free. This